everybody, and welcome to the lobby. I'm your host, Chris Waters, standing in for Danny O'Dwyer, who off vacation, but still around the world. He is at Gamescom, and we're going to be talking a lot about Gamescom shortly. But first, I want to remind you guys, we are giving away a PlayStation 4. All you got to do is tweet at GameSpot using the hashtag #GreatestGamingMoment. Tell us what your greatest gaming moment is. We'll be taking a look at some of those tweets and picking the winner by the end of the show, so get them in there. But before we get to Gamescom stuff and giving away that PS4, let's talk about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. There's a huge multiplayer reveal event last week. Dan Ryckert from Giant Bomb was there. Rob Handler from GameSpot was there.
I was.
Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb.
I was
not so
on
much.
vacation.
You were on vacation?
I saw the game at E3 though, so I'm familiar.
Familiar with
the details.
Exo jumping business. All right, well, let's talk about it because this is Call of Duty multiplayer. I think, Jeff, you probably have more Call of Duty multiplayer experience than all of us on the here combined. Dan, do you play much?
Yeah, I've kind of been the Call of Duty guy for the last several years.
Well, that's right, because you at Game Informer, you said you did the cover story for it, right?
The cover story for Advanced Warfare and Ghost, and I did all the review and multiplayer trips and all that stuff. So yeah.
So you guys got chops, Rob.
I played a lot of the first couple, and then kind of dropped off on Ghosts. Played only a couple hours.
Well, Advanced Warfare, of course, the big thing is movement. Is you got a double jump, you can do this dash to the side business, and I think it's pretty freaking great. I think it is just this really neat kinetic change up to the way those matches play. What do you guys think?
I like how it had the basic stuff you can do, like the dashes, the dodges, and things like that, but you can also go into your customization and pick that extra exo ability, whether it's the mid-air hover or the boost slam thing where you punch down on the ground with that finite battery. So you basically have to pick and choose when to use that.
So are the soldiers as resilient as they always have been? They just go down in a few shots? Because that kind of ground pound thing seems like you would just get shot out of the air over and over again. It'd have to be real fast, right?
Yeah,
I haven't actually seen the ground pound.
I feel like it's
in
not
action,
something you want to do when it's facing off with someone.
Sure,
you're not going to double jump and try to ground pound
It's just going to be almost like a stealth thing, you got up behind somebody and you're check this out, bam.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed thing, you're up above someone
and
you just jump down on them and punch.
And because it's so easy to get to different levels of the map now with the double jump,
the mobility is huge, and it's one of those things where, it's like Call of Duty has been so just staid and plain for years and years that, at least they're finally making basic changes to just mobility and stuff like that could be huge. So I came away from my time with it going this could be cool.
Yeah, as opposed to adding more dogs. I mean, they kept trying to top themselves, and I felt like now they they eliminated death streaks, just basic score streaks now. But going back on dashing, the coolest thing was remember one of the last matches we played, I was finally synapses in my brain were hitting, where it was guy on a platform walking above me, how do I get to him? Jump up and then left and then shotgun the face. It was just immediate gratification where once that's in the mix, you can have some really interesting gameplay.
Yeah, and it seems like, I think there are some people that are quick to just go oh, it looks like Titanfall. It's it does, but the exosuits it's not mobile the same way Titanfall is, and there's certainly some similarities there, but I think they're carving out their own thing.
It's a different kind of mobility, right? With Titanfall, you need to you have the double jump, right? But you have to, in order to make the most of Titanfall, you're running along walls.
Yeah, you're doing wall hops and all this really cool parkour stuff that I really love. This is this is different. This seems like a slightly more deliberate than that, where it is that kind of just double jump, boost left, it's almost like UT or something, with the kind of double tap dashes and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, with those jukes.
Yeah, it feels like there's more weight to them than there is in Titanfall. Titanfall's kind of, I don't want to say floaty, but I mean, you can really just be sprinting around doing all the wall jump to wall jump stuff, and this, deliberate's probably a good word for it. So you can dodge something or get out of the way of a grenade or something, but you're not just flying all over the map.
And I think because of that, the short range boost, and it's the hover is it's a short range hover. You're not going to be hovering around the map like it's some kind of drone guy raining down death upon everybody. But it's all sort of focused on this short-term maneuverability, this just a quick move, a quick sort of engagement. And I think that the way that Call of Duty's always been is firefights are very quick. It's all about positioning, and then once you guys are actually shooting at each other, it's over almost immediately after that. So having that stuff crammed into that sort of that speed is, I think really interesting.
And that seems like a difficult thing too. It'll lead to situations where you go I could just pull the trigger because I know that works, but maybe in some cases a side dash would be, a smarter idea, assuming you can then reposition.
Like
and,
I might
and
actually be
aim
able
faster
to
than the
get
other
out
guy.
of the way of someone shooting at me,
Yeah.
as opposed to just, oh, the first bullet hit me, I'm dead.
Yeah,
In a sense,
yeah.
because the next two are going to hit before I can react and move significantly. If you can actually dash, then it sort of stretches out that encounter. Which
Maybe, yeah.
It's kind of smart the way they map it to the controller because clicking the left stick has always been sprint forward, but it doesn't really do anything if you're going left and right or back. And now, I mean, it's just basically click is the extra speed in whatever direction you're holding the left stick. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see like down the road, like when we were playing, not many people were using that. It was only the last couple of matches where like, oh, I finally like pulled that off successfully in the trailer that I just saw.
You get comfortable with it.
Yeah, and once that starts happening, I really see that game looking a lot different and just feeling a lot different. Like, instead of just like headshots, it's going to be like, oh, that combo move he just pulled. Like, that's going to be something to look forward to.
And I think especially in uplink mode, which is the new sort of mode that they were showing off at the event we went to, it's, there's a neutral ball that you have to throw into this glowing sphere on either end of the map. The fact that, those juke maneuvers, that maneuverability, when you're trying to run the ball from point A to B, that opens up a whole different kind of pace.
It feels like an American Gladiators event.
It kind of does.
And like you get extra points if you like dunk it through by boosting through.
You do.
Yeah,
you do.
I like that a lot.
For me, though, the mode conversation just starts and stops with like, did they put headquarters in it or not? Because that's, like Ghost didn't have it, and it was just like, why would you not do that?
Headquarters is your jam.
It was kind of the other mode. It's like there's team deathmatch and there's headquarters, and then you're done.
There's other.
You like Domination?
It's all right.
Ah, that's great.
Like domination is like older than me at this point. It's just like, come on. Team deathmatch is the mode. That's the mode that lasts. And then headquarters was kind of the young upstart that was fun. But
There's Hardpoint that's coming on back.
okay, yeah, Hardpoint's good too. Yeah.
We even touched briefly on Uplink how you could, especially with all this customization of class and everything like that, that we were almost getting the conversation about like a football team, like different actual type of people customized for different things. Like, running of the ball, he would be decked out with the, double XO abilities, just because that's all he's doing. He's running, get the running boost, and then maybe like a health regenerate, and then you got maybe like a QB throwing it downfield. Like, that's all they're doing. Like, you could basically see a team coming kind of.
And I think that's how it differentiates itself from modes like Oddball and other sort of control the ball stuff that we've seen before. It's you can do this pass, and I didn't notice this until we were going back and looking at the footage, but if you have the ball and you're running and any of your teammates get into your view, it'll like auto-select one of them as a pass target, and then you just pull the left trigger and gun it to them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you realistically think anyone's going to actually care about that mode?
I want to do it. Yeah.
I mean, like beyond like I want to do it and then like play it for the first week.
I think
I feel like if you look at Call of Duty modes and you look at the player counts, we are just talking about TDM and death and domination.
Oh, for sure. And that's
like
normally what I play.
Yeah,
you're right.
that's.
I can see it getting as much traction as like gun game and some of those added like one of the chamber modes that Treyarch's put in the Black Ops
There's the
games,
one you want to play when
Yeah,
you don't
it's
just
fun.
want to go play the bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly.
TDM.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not going to get the numbers that TDM gets or whatever, but like, people will play it. I think
It's one of those hard things where it's like I feel like there's the expectation that they need to keep coming up with new things and all this other stuff, but ultimately people are just going to play those two modes.
So is this a new? I mean, the movement of Call of Duty. You're optimistic about the future. Do you think this will be? Certainly, it seems like we're all welcoming it. Do you think that the consuming public buying millions of Call of Duty copies a year?
I think it's really it is definitely risky on their part, because if you look at it almost feels like they've been afraid to make drastic changes to Call of Duty because
it ain't broke.
Because they're golden goose.
Yeah.
Like if you mess with it too much, it's no longer the game that people fell in love with. And but I think that they've reached a point now. I mean, you look at Ghosts, you look at kind of just the player numbers and stuff like that. It didn't seem like it had the staying power. Like, they obviously need to make changes.
Yeah.
And personally, as someone who's just been getting like more and more bored with it as the years go on, like this is the most dramatic change they've made.
Yeah.
It's not just like, hey, we came up with a ninth new way to unlock stuff. Though they came up with that too.
They
apparently.
definitely have that too. There's a pick 13 now, Jeff.
Oh,
it's a whole
okay.
different game from
All
pick
right.
10.
That's whoa.
Yeah.
And then loot crates, right? Because Battlefield,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
everyone's favorite
like
thing from
that.
Battlefield and Mass Effect.
Listen, man, they
Let's
gotta
bring that
they
in,
gotta
right?
bring microtransactions in there.
You think they will? Because that's always been the thing. They're like, Call of Duty made so much money that they always were like, we don't need to sell currency or we don't need to charge for multiplayer.
they tried with Elite.
I mean, they did Elite.
right.
And they, obviously they sold this Snoop Dogg voice pack, which is fantastic. I use it. whenever I'm playing Call of Duty Ghosts, I use the Snoop Dogg voice pad.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
And yeah, so it's like one of those things where like you look at the loot crates, you look at it like, oh, how it was in Mass Effect 3, and you're like, oh, am I going to start buying crates to unlock
If the
stuff
chance
early?
is there
like,
and they get something neat, who knows? We may be paying for little things in Call of Duty in addition to the big thing.
But they've been
New pair
selling
of
weapon
gloves.
skins and all this other crap for a long time. Like, for the last couple of years, they've been getting into selling you garbage. So why not?
New innovative ways to sell you garbage.
That's right. This weapon skin that you'll barely see on your gun because who looks at that?
Because you're sprinting like
It
this.
looks like weed leaves.
Yay!
All right.
Finally!
All right. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, it's out in like a few months, so you know a lot about it. Probably see a little bit more before it comes out, but let's talk Gamescom now. Because in the past 24 hours, we've had a Microsoft press conference, a Sony press conference, big to-dos over there in Germany. If you've watched, we had them live on the site as well as live blogged and a bunch of articles related to them if you want to read more on those about the stuff we're going to talk about now. So just listen up,
Exactly.
Microsoft.
Like reading is done, man. Come on.
It's over.
We're talking
Forget
about it here. Done.
Let's talk about Microsoft's press conference. Did you guys wake up too early in your life to watch it?
Absolutely not.
No. So you've read about it, you've heard about it.
Yeah.
Presumably one of the things you've heard about, Rise of the Tomb Raider, is, let's see if I can word this right, holiday 2015 exclusively on Xbox.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's big that it's exclusively on Xbox, but for what period of time is the big question.
Right.
How much value does that have?
Well, it's a holiday season, so they're asking people that if you want it for Christmas this year, this is the one platform you can get it on, or two,
Or two, because if they said exclusively on Xbox,
right.
they didn't clarify.
Maybe there
either
could be
way.
a 360 version. You'd like to think that at some point they'll stop making Xbox 360 games and start making them for the new platforms instead of these
these old dinosaurs.
Yeah, like straddling the line and making no one happy. It's I feel like hey, this is just like, do you want to play Rise of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition? PS4,
Then
mid
PS4.
2016.
Yep, PC,
or
Press
2015.
Effects, Deluxe.
Yeah,
There's plenty of people that don't want to wait that long. I mean, I know that I like the first one quite a bit, and I'll just buy it on Xbox. So I think it's a pretty good get for them.
Yeah, is it a system seller? Does it tip
It's
the
not,
needle?
I don't think it's that killer app or anything like that, but it was a really good game, that last one.
Every little bit
loved
helps
it.
when it comes to that stuff. It's like Sony did their Destiny stuff, and it's like everyone's got their own little bits here
little
and there.
first on.
But this is a major sequel and a major franchise. It's certainly bigger than you got some better pauldrons in Diablo if you got the PlayStation version or whatever.
Get your Last of Us clickers that you can fight as opposed to
Yeah. So that's a big deal. I don't know. It's hard for me to get too built up about it because I just didn't get into that last Tomb Raider game that much. So
I'm with Dan. That thing was awesome.
It was awesome, and then the ending kind of just turned me
is
the
it
wrong
because
way.
you guys are creeps and you bought into the whole thing of they want you to want to protect Lara?
I actually like
island's alive.
Fuck. Chris
mean,
Waters,
a
you
little
disgust
bit
me.
because you do those environmental deaths and then it's like, oh God, I actually really don't want to die.
They
that
do
was
a good
really
job with those
disturbing.
deaths.
Yeah.
But between that and that and Dead Space, I think does the best. Just jarring, oh God, that's terrible.
some of that
Death.
stuff in Dead Space was
Jeff
that was a
thinks
nightmare.
we're into snuff films now, Dan. So.
I mean, we'll talk about that off camera. But
Cool, that's a bonus segment.
So there you
that we'll
go.
be
The sequel to
talking
8mm will be
Yes, I was
available
wondering.
exclusively on the Xbox One.
Speaking of
Rise of the Tomb Raider: Kill Them Machine, Kill Them All.
oh God,
What?
dark. Speaking of exclusive to Xbox One, we got to look at Quantum Break. We saw the gameplay basically for the first time, and hey, it's a third-person shooter.
Finally, can I hide behind stuff?
Yes.
Great.
Wait, but there needs to be more than me just popping dudes in the head. Is there some kind of weird mechanic that involves that polygonal time fractalization thing?
If I miss a headshot, can I roll it back to get it right the next time?
What about a confusing TV show that no one seems to know how it works? Does it have that?
Yes. No, we're not even going to talk about that this time around.
Yeah.
You get to pop dudes.
No, it's
okay.
good that they're finally showing this as a game. I know, when they shut down that LA studio, people were like, "What does this mean for Quantum Break?" And they're like, "Nothing. Don't worry.
Cool it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine."
It's going to be a game.
So it's the next game from these guys, and that's exciting. They've done some amazing work. So hopefully this will pan out. I mean, I think it looks nice, but yeah, at some point if you're like, by the way, all this work is going into a cover shooter.
Yeah. I mean, we also had Alan Wake had its sort of shooting mechanics,
Yeah,
it
but it wasn't.
with the flashlight and
Right.
there's. So is this is the stuff we see here in a little bit? Is that going to be a a gimmick that's interesting that like strings you between the like more compelling narrative connections or mysteries? These are
I don't know. It's tentatively excited about it because I think it's a nice looking game, but like it's kind of too early to tell.
Did you like Alan Wake?
Not especially.
I didn't either. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant on this one.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some weird stuff happening here, but the rest of the Microsoft press conference, I don't know if
He's hiding behind something and shooting people. You're right, that is weird.
No, but Jeff, the cans are moving, you see.
Oh my
And then he's running away from a grenade, because basically at any time he runs, time freezes.
Is that a time boost
Seems
kind
like,
of
yeah,
run?
you've got
Like
this little like yellow line in the corner depleting whenever he does that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the time, I never want to run out of that time rewinded potion.
Yeah, as long as I can use that.
Yeah, as long as we can talk about what Soulja Boy said about Braid for another couple of years, then yes, please give me more time, more games
There's
involving
no
time.
point to this game. You just shoot.
Yeah.
And then you rewind time.
That's right.
It's like Mario for people who like to get high, as he said.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is like Gears of War for people who like to get high.
I thought Gears of War was Gears of War for people who like to get high.
Well, it's a big demographic. There's a lot of money there.
It's Denver. It's illegal there.
The rest of Microsoft's press conference, I mean, they talked a lot. They did kind of what I think of as the Sony thing, beating that indie drum, that ID8 Xbox thing, saying we've got, Space Engineers, Goat Simulator all coming first on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Did you guys get any general impressions of how how the conference went, how it worked out for Microsoft, what their message was?
I think I think they got some stuff that got people talking. They also got out there and talked about it's like nothing that you would get up on stage and get all sexy about, but like the DLNA support for media playback and kind of getting that stuff on the box finally. They put out a codec list that actually supports all the codecs you'd want it to support, unlike the 360, which didn't. So maybe less transcoding for people in the future. Very exciting.
A word you just said, Jeff.
Video files.
Okay.
All right.
I know what those is.
You need to download the Real Player and install that. And then you can watch real video files.
Just get it right, the purple.
Exactly. It's
blue
right there. It's
icon
just,
in
you
the
just get close to your
tray.
monitor. It's fine.
Fantastic. Sony. Now let's talk about that one. I did get to watch mostly the entirety of. They rolled a bunch of trailers.
Yeah.
Saw
Except for the parts that broke.
Yep.
Yeah, there were some broken
Yeah, a lot
parts.
of that.
At least the camera work was a little steadier this year.
Last year's like, whoa,
Yeah.
devil may care attitude. One of the highlights for me was like during that, the weird talky part where they just talk about features and don't show cool stuff, but actually some of the features are kind of cool. PlayStation Now, PlayStation TV, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The Share Play was sort of the one they
Right.
talked about. I think they kind of announced it.
Yeah, it was one of the kind of initial things they talked about with the console, and then it was one of the many features that weren't there at launch, even though they talked about it. So they're kind of getting ready to make good on that.
So as I understand it, it's local games that you can play local co-op, like you and a buddy on the couch. If you can play those online with, like, if Dan and I want to play Child of Light together, and I'm, the princess adventuring around, and you're my little Igniculus Firefly buddy. If you don't have the game, we can connect online. You can play as that dude in my game.
Okay. So
Like
that's
I read
what
that
it
straight from a
is.
Sony blog post.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
where I went
idea.
for
Did
that
they use
example.
that game
That's
But
specific
also,
example,
I
yeah.
think that the other thing is that this will be kind of like past the controller type stuff. When they talked about this feature originally, it was the idea of like you're at a spot in a game, you're stuck, and you can hand control of the game over to someone else, and they can get past that spot for you. So this sounds like it will be using something similar to PlayStation Now, like a video streaming, because they're saying the person doesn't need to own the game.
Right.
So it'd be
So
like
it's gotta come
over
from
a video
somewhere.
stream, you'll be able to invite them to take control via video and play the game for a while. And then that'll also theoretically work for games that you want to play local co-op in. That's where it gets a little shaky for me, because it's like, developers couldn't be bothered to do the work to make it online for realsies, huh?
Right.
Here you go.
Why make online local?
But
why
it's
make online
specifically
co-op
there for
anyways?
people that don't own the game.
So
Right.
it could be like, if my sister's having a really tough time with a boss fight in a game, she could have me just kind of dial in, I guess, and take over for a little bit. But yeah, I wonder how that works with signing in and trophies and things like that. Like if you're controlling someone else's game, I don't know.
Do you get the Puppet Master trophy for helped someone through a
Yeah,
tough
yeah.
part?
I could see that.
But the other example they gave was Towerfall Ascension, the example was specifically like cooperatively take on a challenge quest, right? So I've got Towerfall, I want to beat this quest. Jeff comes in to help me out, but Towerfall Ascension is a local competitive game as well.
Right.
So like, can you and I also just duel?
I'm going to say probably. What I took away from the press conference and just kind of talking about that feature, over time as they've kind of talked about it and not talked about it, is that it is just kind of we can just jump in and play whatever we want, because it'll be basically kind of, I think the theory is that it'll be just translating controller inputs that are coming in over the network to controller inputs that would be happening
game.
locally.
Yeah, so
So at some point, you start to actually extrapolate that out and think about consumer-grade broadband connections and bandwidth concerns and stuff like that. Like PlayStation Now is running on gigantic, insane servers, and is not just like you were there all the time.
Yeah.
And on live and certainly stuff like that.
and
in the
doing a
past.
Towerfall Ascension versus like an NBA 2K15.
Yeah, and you think about Towerfall Ascension, and the reason why it doesn't have online multiplayer is kind of twofold of it being a small team that might not be able to make that work happen, but also like that theory of like, the latency is too much.
Yeah, you need that
So
sharpness.
imagine taking that latency and then adding to it an entire video stream. That doesn't sound like it'd be a fun experience.
I don't know.
So I feel like that's going to be one of those things that will work better for some games than others, and who knows how they'll compensate for some of that stuff.
Or even like for Far Cry 4, how what was that whole thing with the 10 keys?
Yeah, so they
And then
announced that back at E3.
They
yeah.
did, and then they said what, only 2 hours then?
Yeah, so,
Limiting?
back at E3 they did say it was like a
Right.
time-limited thing. So yeah, you'll be able to invite up to 10 people separately to download some version of the game, and then they'll be able to play with you for 2 hours. That to me just seems like a pre-order thing waiting to happen. Of just like, hey, convert this download you already downloaded into the real thing.
Yep.
Here's your
There you go.
Like that just
Enter
seems
your
like
credit card
Carry
here.
your,
Yeah,
carry
that-
your progress through.
Yeah, it just seems like them building an upsell
Which is
opportunity.
pretty smart.
And
It is
it's
pretty
smart.
neat
Probably
way
is
to-
pretty smart.
And I think
so.
2 hours of playing co-op is a good amount of time to decide whether or not you like a game enough to drop $60.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really smart.
What did you guys think about the cardboard box showing during
That
the
was
Metal
great.
Gear
That
Solid
was the
situation?
best.
That was absurd.
So stupid, so
Oh my
great.
God.
I love that it's just like, hey, we talked about the cardboard box before, but look, man, we really want to get into the nuances.
let's
we haven't
dive
told
in.
you everything about this cardboard
It's
box.
not just a box. We also put a pin-up on it, and the soldiers you go up against are like, so hard up that they are like,
I mean,
Right.
there's a picture of a sexy lady over here. I gotta run up on it.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Looney Tunes
that's-
all over again.
That's if you think about it, that's been the MO of Metal Gear for some time now with
Yeah.
the porn magazines and
dropping
just the other
magazines
weird
here.
stuff they've done over time. Like the soldiers are horn dogs, and it's creepy.
And complete idiots because I
And
think that's
complete idiots.
so
I mean,
morons to fall for this.
I like that they have added a bunch of features to the cardboard box. I guess why not?
Like cardboard, first-person cardboard
Metal
box.
Gear is so stupid.
Yeah.
Metal Gear is so stupid.
It's so great.
I love that. I love that it is stupid. But
also trying to be super serious.
right, yeah, and then it's just like this weird preachy, war tale,
unbelievable.
and then here I am hiding in a cardboard box.
Real time, 24-hour day cycle.
Like at some point, yeah,
Cardboard box.
exactly. Someone needs to just save
Oh, yeah.
save Kojima from himself.
God.
There's a later one where the box is on the ground. He just crawls out the side.
Yeah.
The dude
Yeah,
has
I think
no
that's this one here.
yeah.
Yeah.
The dude's got
so
no
great.
peripheral vision.
Well, he's distracted. There's a sexy lady on it.
Oh my
and he has
goodness,
to look at it.
she's in a bed of flowers?
Yeah.
What's happening over here?
He dropped his gun, I think.
I also love how much someone really thought about that. Like different, it's like an origami box. Like different artwork
Right.
could be in different folds.
I like how it's 1984 and he's got a PS4 box on his head.
That's
I
gotta
like
be,
everything that's
That's
happening.
got to be
Can't see me.
just for the trailer. That's probably not.
I
a big
wouldn't
deal,
put it
you know,
past them. They do
that
some
can't
dumb
be in the
stuff.
game. Yeah, Metal Gear is really stupid. It always has been.
That's the moral of the
it's been
story
stupid
here.
in ways that make me super angry at times, but sometimes it's stupid in the exact right way. I
mean, they had
that's closer to the exact right way.
They had
That
issues
one
of Game
was
Informer and Metal Gear 3, which was set in the 60s, so they could have a PS4 box on his head in 1984. So
It could be canon in the
Yeah.
stupid world of Metal Gear. Ugh.
the best lore.
All right, last game I want to talk about out of the Sony press conference. They finished it up. Michel Ancel's new team, Wild Sheep. This game, Wild, which just basically showed a bunch of people running around and then a bunch of animals running around, and they
Yeah.
said you can play as those animals. Did you guys get anything more solid out of this?
I
than
liked
that?
it because you ever play Tale of the Sun on PlayStation 1?
No, I saw you
You're a
tweet about that,
caveman?
and I looked it up, and I had no idea what's going on.
It is a fantastic, weird game, and this just reminds me of it in a lot of ways.
It's a super weird game.
So great. And this looks like a next generation Tale of the Sun. So
I think the weird part was seeing Ancel come out and not be there with Ubisoft and stuff. So I guess I don't know, maybe did you track this down at all? Apparently he is still with Ubisoft, but also doing this separately.
Really?
I don't know. That was the talk that we got that came our way via Twitter as this was happening that I didn't actually go verify, but that just seems ridiculous at some point. Like,
It sounds like this is strictly a side project for him.
it's amazing that they would let him do that. Maybe that was the compromise of just like, look, man, we're never going to let you make Beyond Good and Evil 2. Why don't you just stop? And he's like, well, I want to go make my weird game about bow and arrow hunters, and you can play as a sheep.
And a giant
they're like,
tree lady.
and they asked him, they said, can you make it so you can climb up towers to reveal more of the world? And he's like, no. He said, well, then it can't be a Ubisoft game.
Yeah. So sorry.
And then at that point, he had to go out on his own to make it. So
But then still, they're like, we might still need you to come in and like reinvent Rayman to everyone's
at some
delight
point, someone's
again,
going to have to do
you
it
know.
again. You know, we've made 2 of these.
We're keeping dibs on you
Right.
in some way.
Super weird.
It's weird. I mean, there's a giant tree giant lady.
There's a big
Alright.
tree lady.
I'm down.
And there were furries in it earlier. I don't know.
Boars running with wolves, and any game that lets me play as an animal, I am way down with, because I think video games, have that power to take us outside.
I would rather have a Tokyo Jungle too.
Really?
Yeah. You want to play as animals.
Those like hollowed-eyed Pomeranians
Yeah.
like looking at you from their dark souls. Those things freak me out.
Hey, it was a rough world, man.
That's true. All right, guys, that's Gamescom news for today, but of course Gamescom is running all week, and it's a huge show, so we've got stories posting all the time for that. We've got a team over there. Do you guys doing any Gamescom-related stuff?
No, it's not that huge of a show.
All right, well, tell us.
Like you're lying about it. It's
It's-
not. They already announced
the biggest.
They already announced the Sierra stuff. Like Geometry Wars is coming, but Cake Bread's not involved, so who cares?
Every
Like,
single
it's like-
day we'll have breaking news on GameSpot.com that you will not want to miss.
Kano is in Mortal Kombat.
Before I let you guys go, can you talk to us a little bit about the shenanigans you're getting up to tomorrow, or is that a surprise?
Nope.
for
That's a
later?
surprise.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Mum's the word, shenanigans. But Dan, Jeff, thank you guys for coming on, chatting about Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, and Gamescom news. Now we're going to take a look at a trailer for Forza Horizon 2, and we'll be back with Kevin Van Ord and Risen 3.
Car culture and festival culture are both inherently social. Forza Horizon 2 is inherently social. So we ensure that everyone's game feels connected, even when you're not playing multiplayer. There are lots of ways to see what your friends are doing. Even in solo play, your friends are always connected to your world. Your friends' drive avatars explore the open world with you, even when they aren't online. You can challenge them to street races or follow them to hidden secrets in the world. Rivals challenges and speed cameras allow you to compete with your friends asynchronously, and at any point you can pull up the map and see where your friends are online and what they're doing. When you decide to jump into online play, we ensure that transition is instant and seamless. And by removing lobbies, the waiting and all the hoops you have to jump through, players who don't usually play online will find it really easy, entertaining and friendly.
Community is massively important to Forza, and with clubs of up to 1,000 players, you could create your own community within Horizon 2. What that club is for, though, is entirely up to you. It could be a private club for you and your close friends. You could use it to compete on the game's global club leaderboards. We've given you the tools to create or find the perfect club for you.
We've got car meets, which is a great place to go and socialise, chat, and show off your liveries or your tunes. If you're a really talented painter, you can enter a car meet and show off your latest design. Anyone else that's in there can take a look and at the touch of a button, download your design for their own car.
King and Infected were 2 really popular online game modes from the original Horizon. In Forza Horizon 2, we decided to build the perfect arenas from the ground up. Each one of these arenas is designed with jumps and smashable items everywhere, taking full advantage of the open world.
We have 2 main ways to play online. In Online Road Trip, we'll take you on a tour of the world from destination to destination, and then everyone in the session will vote on where the road trip goes next. In Online Free Roam, it's entirely up to you what you do. You and the people in your session can do whatever you like. Start races, play co-op challenges, hunt for secrets and collectibles together, or just cruise around. There are no rules. The world and everything in it are yours to explore together.
This is an incredibly social game. In every sense, we've reimagined what a truly next-gen online experience should be. You can play it however you want, do whatever you want. We'd like Horizon 2 to be a game that you play with friends, but maybe even a game in which you can make new friends.
I like it when games with cars in them, the trailers have like a lot of music over them, because if it's just a lot of car noises, it just sounds like us three sitting here going vroom, 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 vroom.
I can't really do that.
That was good, Rob.
Thanks.
Kevin Van Ord, welcome to the set.
Oh, I thank you.
We're going to talk about the game you're here to play in a second.
Yeah.
But first, a reminder that we are running a PS4 giveaway here. Hashtag greatest gaming moment. You throw that at us on Twitter. Tell us what your greatest gaming moment is, and you'll be entered to win a PS4 from us here at GameSpot and our friends at Sony. We're going to take a look at some of these tweets here. What do we got? Do we have any examples of greatest gaming moments? Running wires from the upstairs to the basement into an Ethernet switch to play 16-player LAN in Halo on the Xbox.
I concur with that one.
Rob, is that your Twitter account?
That
Was
is
that
my
you?
secret Twitter account.
You know you're not eligible to win this. You work for GameSpot. It's not happening.
I paid
Completely
off.
beating Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on my PS1 in one day with my cousin and taking breaks to ice our thumb joints. That is intense.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever, when I realized my 11th month daughter would be a gamer, one of her first words was ratchet. I'm an insomniac.
Oh, boo!
What? You don't like that?
I'm an insomniac.
Oh, you don't like the pun. Yeah, all right. Flying to Japan for PS2 launch, standing in line for hours, speak not like of Japanese. It was epic.
Epic.
Nice. All right, keep those tweets coming. We'll be giving away the PS4 at the end of the show. Kevin, did you have any of your greatest gaming moments involve physical trauma that you had to like ice any parts for?
No, but I have created physical trauma. One of my greatest gaming moments actually was breaking a Mr. Do arcade machine.
Really?
Yeah, so I used to steal quarters from my mom.
Okay.
So I would have been, I don't know how old I was, maybe 12 or something like that. So I stole quarters from my mother. She had a big thing of quarters, and so I would just take like $1 here and there, and then I would go to the local convenience store. We had this where they had like a pool table and they had Dig Dug and Mr. Do. So I used to love Mr. Do. Well, I love Dig Dug too, but I used to really love Mr. Do. So I would go. So one day I got so mad at the game, and we all know that I have some rage issues when it comes to games, right?
There are some times you don't want to walk by Kevin's desk.
Yeah, that's
I
can have rage issues with games. So 12-year-old me, this was the beginning. I hammered with my fist the Mr. Do dash, and then it broke the joystick, and so I just left.
Yeah.
I never told the proprietor.
You were like, Mom, we have to move. So she grabbed her go bag and you guys were out of there.
So I'm from a little town in Pennsylvania called Warren. This was Ron's Variety that it no longer exists. If you have anything to do with Ron's Variety from Warren, Pennsylvania, really, really sorry in advance.
If it was that broken Mr. Do
the
dash
machine
that sunk your business, Kevin Van Ord's the man you're going to want to see.
Yeah, but I'm not here to tell you about those stupid stories from the 1800s.
You're here to.
I'm here to play Risen 3.
Yeah!
For you while I spit forth all my phlegm and saliva.
Yes. Just direct it towards Rob. He's got long sleeves.
And I know you brought me on. It's important to get opinions from more bearded white dudes, and that's what I'm here to do.
Yes, we covet your opinion, oh bearded white dude.
So this is, of course, the follow-up to.
What? Did you just teleport?
Risen and Risen 2.
Tricky guy.
Now, this takes place in the same setting as Risen 2, so you go through basically the same islands that
Which was like a
dealt
pirate
with.
setting,
Yeah,
right?
it is a pirate setting.
Yeah.
And you are sort of a pirate, but not anymore. So you do consort with pirates, but you don't necessarily have to be a pirate. You eventually have to side, however, with one of the game's many factions. Like 4 basic
Good guys,
factions.
bad guys, weird guys.
Not really bad guys. They're all. It's really one of those things where you're trying to band everybody together to take on the giant, the giant demons and stuff that are overtaking the world. Darkness has come, and your character is Steelbeard's son. Steelbeard being from earlier in the series. So you're actually, if you remember Patty, you're her brother. So, oops. It's very easy to sometimes speak to your companion. So you can always take a companion with you this time.
So you've got bones.
I do have bones, but there are several. Maybe in a bit I'll go back to the ship and show you who else I have available. This is maybe about halfway through the game here. I finished on Sunday.
You conquered it?
I did conquer the game on Sunday. I'm in the process of writing a review now. But it's interesting because it's a lot like Risen 2, but the combat has definitely been made more fluid. The visuals are definitely much better. But the combat still has a lot of problems, one of which is just how exploitable it is. That roll in particular, the dodge move, is really exploitable. Well, you don't start that way. That happened because that happened because I took a specific. I sided with a specific faction. Right. So I'm a demon hunter here. But you get to side with the mages, with the pirates, and so on and so forth. So.
That teleport.
Oh yeah, picking up gold pieces one by one. That's my favorite thing to do.
But even before you do that, your roll. I know what individual pieces of gold.
Really?
Luckily, this doesn't happen too much. Usually things are in packs, or you steal
that's fun.
a bunch of gold, and of course battles of the last century. So when you find stuff like this, a lot of the time you end up earning a new. Earning something new, like a new quest to go after, or sometimes you learn about treasure locations that way.
You just steal a clam from a dead goblin?
Totally.
Goblins always have clams.
Well, and then what you can do is see one of the great things about clams is if I have any, like I have shells, like you can.
You have 46 clams.
You can, and now we get to click on them all to see how many might have pearls. So I'm just clicking on them all the way through. Yep. But you need those pearls. Like, look, so I actually received, and here, one of the reasons I was out here is to get a shimmering pearl.
Is that a pile of clams that
somebody had?
Looks like an eye.
So you'd say for every 50 clams is one pearl.
Well, no, you can get a bunch of pearls. I needed that specific pearl because she'd sent me after the pearl. So at this stage, though, I am off to close. One of the things that you do in this game is you have to close these portals. That demons come through. So that's one of your main tasks.
You can't be having demons just coming through all.
So
right?
Me and Bones, who is a druid, he's my favorite companion of all of them. I don't know exactly how many there are. There's like 7 or 8 companions, something like that. Maybe it's only 6, but it's around that. He's my favorite. One of the problems with companions is that a lot of them kind of are the same. Like, oops, that was already an open.
They're kind of boring.
So, well, I like them as personalities. The problem is that functionally, a lot of them don't really do much. Like, different from the last.
Ooh, jump down there,
So,
go to that skull cave.
I'm gonna come down here.
This seems dangerous.
And one thing that has returned from Risen is the nauseating way it handles its camera when you're leaping or falling. But anyway, if you played Risen, then you know which I speak.
Wow, you really are just legit just dropping down this whole.
You do take fall damage, but I'm not
here.
going down so far.
Is gravity reduced in the world of Risen? You just like.
I already have his.
Look at that white tree.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, you've lost your spirit. So you can also go into this kind of spirit mode to help identify certain things, but it's really useless. It's such a superfluous thing that I'm not even sure why it was left in. But yeah, so eventually Bones will catch up. Sometimes companions have a hard time navigating.
Have a hard time gently falling down.
And so now to deal with some minions.
Just a reminder that if you guys have any questions for Kevin about Risen 3, we're taking a look in the twitch.tv/GameSpot chat, as well as the comments on GameSpot.com. You can pass them along to him, and you can find out all about what exactly a Titan Lord is. Kevin, what is a Titan Lord?
Well, they're basically they're Titan Lords.
Are they giant versions of humans that wear no clothes?
They're
and like to eat humans?
They're demigods basically in this world.
Okay.
There's Bones. I'm just trying to get out of the way because I wanted to unsheath my weapon. And
he's dead.
One of the one of those moves. Another nauseating camera movement when you get those finishing moves. Now you can block. Now Risen 2, when it was originally released, you couldn't dodge or block, and it was some of the most frustrating combat ever in the history of combat.
You just have to stand there and take it.
Yeah, well, there were ways that you could try to deal with it, but I mean, the combat in that sense is much improved. It's much more fluid than it used to be, and it is the same world, but it's a lot different now. So, I mean, they've really upped the visuals in a lot of ways, which is good. It's still not.
It looks like there's some neat environmental design going on. I like those fungi on the wall.
I mean, it's not visually the most attractive thing ever. I mean, there are definitely much better looking RPGs out there, but they really did clean up a lot of stuff. Some of my favorite things are in the character models when you really get in close. Some of them used to be really.
So is the teleport, is that class specific, or is that something you just picked up later on?
Oh, well, it's not really a teleport. All it is it's the dodge with a new animation.
Oh.
So it now has the new animation. You just don't see me dodge anymore.
Gotcha.
So it
You just don't see you at all.
yeah, exactly. But it's functionally exactly the same.
Nice job. You gonna steal all those ghouls' bones? Yeah.
Now, you can't always get bones. One of the most interesting things, which is a carryover, is how leveling up works. Which is that you do have like your individual things that you can level up, like melee and ranged and spirit and magic and so forth. But to actually earn new skills, you still have to go buy them, and those act as thresholds to the things that you can actually buy. So
you buy them with just currency?
You buy them with currency.
You buy them with bones.
You have to go
clams.
to a trainer and spend gold on those. So.
Oh! You're quick, Goblin.
One interesting thing is I mean, the game's a lot easier than Risen and Risen 2 ever were. In the first two games, it was pretty easy to die from the very beginning, like just to one of those sand devils on the beach. It was like, that tiny thing just murdered me. Now, like, that kind of stuff isn't bound to happen. I don't know if I can mine this or not. Nope.
Nothing so shameful as being killed by a tiny sand thing.
Yeah, but now things have gotten a lot easier. The combat is a lot more fluid. The downside, of course, is it's really exploitable. Like, you can just exploit that roll to death. If you're wondering, like, why I'm not blocking,
yeah,
that's one of the reasons, because the dodge
is so powerful.
That you can. I mean, the game is compared to Risen and Risen 2, which were much more difficult. The combat in this game eventually becomes a cakewalk. So in that sense, it's very different until you get kind of the final boss, which is really frustrating. Here's the lockpicking, which is interesting. In the early times of the lockpicking, like, you can just.
I watched you pick a lock earlier.
So
it was comical.
It was comical because when you only have 4 of these things, you just swipe it across and back, and you're done. There's nothing to it. But here, like, see, I can't just do that because that happens, because you actually have to do it in an order. And you have to figure out what that order is by playing a little bit. So, okay, that one stays up, that one stays up, that one stays up. So now the question is, do I go to the left or do I go to the right? So that one's not the right one to go to.
Okay.
So you do this, and then you still have to make a decision which one. I'll do that. Oh, not the right one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, back to this one, and back to that. And that's that's how the lock picking works. But
that is way more interesting than what I saw you do earlier.
when you have any fewer than 6 of those, then it's sort of a meaningless lock picking system, and even then, it's not too difficult. Believe it or not, Two Worlds 2 has my favorite lock picking of all time. And nobody ever,
I don't believe it.
Nobody ever says anything
this
about
guy.
Two Worlds 2. Yeah, here's a swamp golem. So there are different kinds of golems, or golems, depending on how you like to pronounce it. I don't want to upset people.
How's it spelled? Oh, I would say golem for that, for sure. Rob?
Yeah. Sure.
Going for golem?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We're going for golem.
You know what? I should do some magic here.
For the
Maybe I'll
record.
do some magic, just to say, hey, look, I can do some magic. So. Oh, that didn't do anything.
That thing is pretty cool looking, I gotta say.
Got some roses on
I like
it.
some of the creature designs here. I like the environmental design. Is exploration sort of a thing?
It's the biggest thing, actually. Here, we'll summon some fire from above.
Fire from above.
Although really, he's a cakewalk. You just kind of sword him to death. Now, when it comes to buying buying some of those skills, like you can't always just skin everything off of these creatures every time. Like you have to earn the ability to like get bones or skulls or hides and things like that.
Oh, to scavenge them off of the creatures and what have you.
See, this is usually what lockpicking is like.
Oh my gosh.
So in the early times,
making that achievement progress.
Well, the thing is, I think I already have that achievement. Maybe I'm playing offline, so it's only going from where I was afraid that the game would update. It kept crashing on the other PC, which is I was afraid to update it in case the press build and the retail, which came out today.
Kevin, is this a game that is good? Would you recommend this game?
I would.
Where's your review status at?
I think that you know what you're getting into when you play a Piranha Bytes game. So these are the people that made Gothic, which is still probably maybe Gothic 2 is the height of what they've done. But you sort of know what you're getting into. You know that you're going to get a game with lots of adventure and lots of stuff to do in it and lots of cool places to go. And it's going to be wonky and weird and not everything's going to make sense and it's going to be clumsy and maybe sometimes a little bit broken. And yet it's going to be kind of special because there are too few games that do this and this game does a lot of what it does really well. It really is one of those games. It's like, God, I wish they could have tightened up all the nuts and bolts. Because it has a lot of loose nuts and bolts. Yeah. But it's a really satisfying game.
But holds itself together, and like you can find some great enjoyment from playing it.
Oh, totally. And I don't have all of the companions here at this stage of the game. Like I said, I was about halfway
This is your Normandy?
Through. This is your Normandy. You don't start with this ship. Eventually, you only get a big ship once you align, and then all of your companions join you. So this is Horus.
All right, just talk to Horus. I don't want to meet all these people you said are the same.
That's fine.
Although
their personalities are all different. It's just in combat. There's only one dude that kind of works differently. He has a shotgun. He's one of the people from the voodoo people that you get. So it's like the same kind of the similar races from Risen 2 all reappear, but you do have new kinds of magic that you can do. Like there was no offensive magic in Risen 2. Now you can do all sorts of offensive things.
It's crazy. When is the game out, you said?
The game is out today.
Today.
Yeah.
And review coming?
The review should be either tonight or tomorrow morning.
All right.
So I'm just in the process of writing it, so be on the lookout. But I would say, yeah, if you know what Risen is, then you get more of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin Van Ord.
Sure.
Much appreciated. That review will be up on GameSpot in the next day or so, folks. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. Now we're going to take a look at Fable Legends, another land full of cool environmental design with extra chicken kicking. And we'll be back with Surgeon Simulator. Oh, the horror of Surgeon Simulator.
Let me tell you a story of heroes. Of 4 that came, 4 that fell. And of the heroes that took their place. Bravely they fought, the future of Albion in their hands. Could it be that these heroes will triumph? Could it be they will vanquish all? Let me tell you the story of the villain. Of how 4 heroes came. And 4 heroes were conquered. Who will take their place? Who will save Albion now?
Fable Legends, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't see a chicken kick there, but I was looking at Mary Kish desperately trying to get the handle of Surgeon Simulator. Hey, Mary Kish.
Nurse Waters.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Nurse
Dr.
Handlery.
Dr.
I'm the
Kish.
intern.
Dr.
It's really
Kish,
nice to have
intern
you here.
handlery. We're here to assist you in the Surgeon Simulator video game.
I'm really looking forward to this innovative procedure we're about to perform today. I'm really glad to have both of you guys here with me.
We're very talented, and we're here for you to help you mangle the poor heart transplant that you're about to undertake. Surgeon Simulator, been out on PC for a while now. Like, great fun, totally madcap surgery, brutality, and weirdness.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
I believe
Pretty
that
accurate.
the only point in this game is to fail at surgery and possibly learn from it.
Or just continue failing.
And learn that you will never become a doctor ever in your life.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm Dr. Kishvorkian.
Okay.
So you just kill people.
Kishvorkian.
I will learn from my errors. Now,
Do a surgery.
my hand may look a little manly, but it's only because
It's the watch. It's really the
watch.
watch that makes your hand look so
I don't get
mannish.
manicures very often because I'm too busy saving lives. Like this guy.
Activate.
Show
Go-
us.
Go to begin operation.
I'm excited
Show
to
us.
begin this operation.
Presumably one of the buttons will do it for you.
Who is the doctor here? Who is the doctor? I ask you.
This is
Like,
incomplete.
Go to the
Let's-
tab. Go to the tab on the
I
side.
got it. You mean call Trisha?
Yes.
I forgot to call her. Pills! I need my pills. I need my pills.
This is one of those games
Oh,
that's
man.
like really.
There we go.
You know, there are simulator games that
Thank you.
actively simulate
this
things in like a
phone.
real serious way, and then there are the clumsy simulator games.
I got it. I don't need your guys' help.
Oh! Can you imagine this like an actual doctor's
Doctor,
like
are
not
you-
picking up his phone?
Are you drunk?
Spilling all his meds.
All right.
Okay.
So now
begin. There, it's the tab.
I've decided to begin the operation.
Okay, good.
Nurse Waters,
I'm glad you decided
Do
to.
you concur?
Yes. Let us proceed, doctor.
I like that the time is blood running out of the patient.
Touch his face. Touch his face real quick. Give him a little reassurance. You're gonna be just fine, buddy.
He looks a little warm. He looks a little warm. Can we fan him off? Okay. Yeah. So
Hey,
so for
let's
the
start the surgery.
Okay, doctor. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a little sweaty. Can I get a towel, please? Thank you.
Towel!
Thank you. I believe the first things first
take off the blood
is to
spatter.
lower my hand.
First things first. Get some
I
Sprite in
think
you.
you want to use the triggers and such.
I could use.
Oh, there you go.
He is
All right.
okay. You are.
A-okay.
He's good.
Starting
He's
off.
good.
Ship shape.
Okay, doctor.
All right. What do you recommend
The ha-
about lowering
the
my hand?
Start with that hammer.
Going to grab this hammer. Grabbing.
So you can move your arm up and down.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I?
Well, so the motion appears to affect your wrist. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're pressing something there. Why don't you just press all the buttons
Okay.
and see what they do?
All my doctor buttons.
Press all your doctor buttons.
So is this the music that doctors operate to?
Listen, you gotta be intense.
Obviously, someone here isn't a doctor.
Again, yeah. I'm
I
the
feel like
intern.
this nurse
Taking
is
notes.
acting a little doctory. Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's the triggers that help you go up and down. Is that true? There we go.
Oh!
listen.
Just a reminder, doctor. I'm
Who's
sure
a doctor?
That you,
I feel like
I'm sure that you knew that.
I have a problem.
Yes.
Yep.
Whoop, didn't
I don't
need
need
that.
any of those
Nope.
things. All right, I need to focus.
Okay.
Okay.
There
Brilliant
we
doctor.
Go. Now,
Thank
good.
you.
The cloth has
Thank you,
already
nurse.
started to slip off the patient, just as we planned.
I will.
The left side is exposed. We're gonna need to do a heart transplant here now,
Okay.
doctor. So please go ahead and crack the rib cage. We're gonna need to get to the heart.
Doctor,
All right.
I love how you ever so lightly touch the bone saw.
You know, just to give you a little bit of a few tips here, a delicate touch is really all you need, and then you just gracefully drop it on the wrist.
Oh my gosh.
Spent all that time picking it up, doctor. I can't help but think that maybe
I'll just do it myself.
All right, yeah, just get in there with the hand, grab it, just grab a hold of those
Grab
ribs.
one of the ribs.
Best doctor in the state.
I don't think that's gonna work. You need to crack the ribs before you can yank them out. Yeah, hammer.
All right.
You wanted the
time?
hammer to begin with.
There we go. Just grab with your fingers.
Okay.
There you go.
Now you've got it in the. Oh,
do?
Nope, didn't quite.
Here we go.
There we go. Oh God, it's coming down.
Well, the hammer's been lost. I will use this bottle.
That hammer was defective.
Oh, you just lost your watch.
Watch has fallen
I'm
off.
so thirsty. I cannot see.
I don't need time. I need.
Oh no! I drugged myself. Oh no! Oh no!
Doctor,
I
I
forgot.
feel like you really.
To do drugs.
Doctor, are you okay?
I should have waited until after the surgery
Will you grab
to get
the-
really messed up
Just grab the drill already,
on
doctor.
hallucinogens.
Doctor.
Who's on the drugs here? Is it you?
This is when I do my
Because
best
I
work.
don't.
Doctor, I
no.
appreciate your dedication
lost-
to losing all of the tools
lost
so that you can't harm the patient. But for the love of God,
He's
operation
will
is
you
going
actually
really
do
well.
something to the patient?
Here we go.
Great. Yep, I see some blood.
It's happening.
Yes,
No.
I'd start with the toothpick as well.
Yeah. A gentle scalpel to the ribs. Poke some holes in the lungs to make sure they can still breathe.
Do you even know what we're supposed to be doing here?
We're saving this man. Shh. I'm so high.
I think you should probably grab the sword. Why don't you? The sword. Grab the
sword.
saw.
Okay. I concur.
The saw is over by the patient, as you'll recall,
I concur.
doctor.
Do you have some blood on your hands?
It's right by the patient's face, as you'll
I
remember.
also concur.
We need a doctor in here for this doctor. She's bleeding.
That's what you're here for, nurse.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Here we go.
Doctor, just please do not drop the saw. Yes.
You're sawing so well.
Thank you. You're
are-
getting promoted.
Damn right.
You are abrading those ribs very thoroughly.
I think you just knocked off his
Just
mask.
rubbing it all around. There we go.
Oh, I'm
we've
seeing
got
some
a crack.
breakage there.
There we
Oh,
go.
this is going well.
Broken the sternum.
Up and down and up and down, and that's the way
Did you learn
you
that
do
in
surgery.
med school?
Yeah, a lot of times you learn the best when you rhyme things. You crack their ribs, get inside their innards, mix them all up.
How long did the drugs last?
And I've
Yeah,
been
the whole
high
time?
for a really long time. I could use that pencil, write some of this down.
Write down these notes. Oh, or yeah,
That's a good place for that.
that's a good place.
Oh no, we've lost it. It's really in there.
Oh no.
He's got lead poisoning.
I feel like you should take out some of those ribs.
All right. Let me
Get your hand in there. Get some organs out.
Okay.
No, the pencil was always in there.
The pencil was in there when I got there, ma'am.
I've made an astonishing discovery.
Get out of my office.
You've been living with a pencil inside of you the whole time.
Well, there's your problem right there. This man's had a pencil in him for some time. All right, I'm gonna. Let me see. Oh,
Yeah, can you just bring that whole device in there?
yeah. If I could just,
Just clobber.
if I could just put more items. I'm so high.
You are so high. Definitely dosed
just
yourself something fierce.
Some scissor.
Yeah, just make sure. We're trying to heart transplant here, right? So you need to.
Scissors.
If the
for
heart is still
patient.
attached to the body, you can't transplant it. I mean, that is just any scientist will agree.
You gotta,
Especially a
like-
medical scientist.
Stab him, and then save his life. Oh my God, we got a bleeder.
We got a bleeder. Clamp! Where's the clamp?
Wow.
I'll just leave those.
Just drink it.
Here, I have
Use
these.
the cup.
Q-tips? Maybe you could soak it up with a single Q-tip.
Let me get a Q-tip. It's really hard to see because I'm on so many drugs.
Just shove a Q-tip up in there.
So
Do I have it?
high. Do you want to start this surgery again, doctor? And maybe not be so. This
I'm calling it. It's 10:11.
This is like the Gonzo.
Time of death.
This is like
Too soon.
This is like the Gonzo version
I
of
can't
Surgeon
pick up
Simulator.
a Q-tip. I'm too high. Nobody.
I think
I'm
the
just
music is kind of hinting at your highness as well.
But everything is A-okay. He is good to go.
At least we figured out how to do that motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
you can move
Oh, look at those other fingers.
Yeah, move
Yeah,
other
you got
fingers.
you got a whole range of fingers.
So you're controlling.
Oh, there's my fist.
You're controlling the hand.
My
with-
problem was not enough fist.
You should give him drugs. Then maybe
more
all the
fists.
drugs combined will even out.
I think I already used all the drugs on myself.
Oh.
You did.
I need just one
All right,
Q-tip.
let's start again. Let's start again.
All right.
Restart the surgery.
Time of second death. 10-12.
Restart. Let's try to get into that rib cage a little more expediently and get a lung out. I want a single lung out
One
of the
lung?
body.
Yeah,
right.
get a lung out.
All
Are
right.
you equal to the challenge?
I hope you're paying attention.
Dr. Kishvorkian.
Because one day you will become the doctor.
Not as good as you, Doctor.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
All
this
right.
off.
All right.
Starting strong.
I
Start
feel
real
really
strong.
good about this.
This is going to be
We've
great.
grabbed the hammer. Oh, yeah.
Look out.
Now just lower it down.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Powerful strike. Good follow through. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Some
Work that
rotating.
wrist. This is
some-
proper hammer usage. Now we're talking. This is, you're really getting a lot of force behind it. A lot of torque.
God!
Just pounding on the patient's chest over and over.
Oh no, I'm not his body.
All right, you got to get some of those ribs free now.
Yeah,
Yes.
keep going on that side. Let's get all those ribs out
Oh,
of there.
yeah. Now we're in business.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Kishvorkian, this is
I think you
much more
loosened up a lung in
Yep.
the process.
This is much more successful than your last surgery.
I feel like every surgery I learn
Whoa.
more.
Clip the patient in the face.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. You know you can actually kill them by doing that.
Well-
and fail the surgery.
You know, this is very lifelike.
It is possible to fail the surgery. I don't know if you folks at home believe it.
All right, what do I do now? Nurse?
I say you know, because you had some of that head trauma just now, why don't you use the drill and loosen up a little hole, maybe get some of the blood coming out?
I think that's reasonable. Oh,
All right, you better get that lung out because I'm about to give away some PlayStation 4s. In
lung.
In like 1
I don't know
minute.
if we have time. We don't have time for that.
3
Doctor,
minutes.
there's no time!
After 3 minutes of surgery time, I'm going to be giving away a PlayStation 4. And if you do not have a lung out by then, you. Oh my God. Doc. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh God! Listen. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I lost my watch! My watch!
It's the second one today.
Oh no! I really liked that watch.
Doctor, you have 55 seconds
Get-
to remove the lung.
Get
and
the
complete
lung out
the
of there.
lung challenge.
Okay. What do I need to get the lung out?
Your hand, Doctor.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh no.
that's cool.
I need to get that last rib. Wait. Oh no.
Oh, it's just sitting in there. Oh, it's still going.
Wait, I got it.
Oh, the
I got
carnage.
it. I got it. You guys are making me nervous. Oh! Oh no! It's fine. It worked itself out. It worked itself out.
You have 20 seconds to grab that lung
Okay.
and get it out.
That was perfect.
I think that lung. Get your whole fist in there and grab that lung, doctor.
Okay.
Get it. Get it.
Got 5 seconds. Oh, she's got a hold of it. 3, 2,
I can feel it.
It's coming. Oh, we're into overtime. I grant you a 10-second overtime
I can feel it.
because you've got
So pull
the
up.
whole. Just yank it out of there. Oh, nope.
Is it because you got
So
another
sorry.
There's
50?
just too many. Their heart is in the way.
Stupid heart.
That is not a heart. Oh,
well,
maybe
is
that
the
is
heart-
the heart. That is the heart.
The heart's supposed to be there.
Just pull it out. Just yank it. Yeah!
I'm a doctor. Sir,
You're a doctor, Mary.
this man has been
Congratulations.
saved.
Good job.
Surgeon Simulator now available
Yeah.
on PlayStation 4 so that you can make
impressed.
horrible doctor situations in your own living room.
I can't believe that we saved a life.
We saved him. He's got one lung now and a real
and
jacked
an
up
alarming
ribcage.
blood loss rate. All right. So, your greatest gaming moments. You've been tweeting them at GameSpot all week, and we have gone through them all. There are many great ones. I like the ones that sort of evoke the specific game, like riding into Mexico for the first time in Red Dead Redemption. The ones that invoke the connections that these games can form with children and stuff like that. Those are really cool. But the ultimate winner of GameSpot's and Sony's PlayStation 4 giveaway is Powdered Donut 69, aka Ryan, on Twitter for this tweet. Playing Rock Band 2 on drums to eventually become involved in playing real drums. Love the connection of the video gaming to the real life drumming. And Ryan, you just won yourself a PlayStation 4. Hooray! So Ryan will be getting in touch with you about how to get your PlayStation 4, and we'll be expecting some tweets about the games you're gonna play.
Oh, look at
how
that!
excited you are. You what kind of dance moves you teach it with the box.
Life-saving box.
I want one. Looks real hot.
But I want to thank all you folks who submitted and remind you that you can still win a PlayStation 4 from Sony. If you go to greatnessawaits.com and make a mural there, just upload a picture of your face, pick a few game characters to join you in your mural to create your mural. Say mural a few more times. But go ahead and enter at greatnessawaits.com and you can win a PlayStation 4. There's still a chance.
Can you be a surgeon in the mural?
No.
Lighter than I thought.
Which is fitting because you can't be a surgeon in real life either. Mary Kish. And Rob Handlery, thank you both for coming on.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
This man needs a doctor. His appendix is about to burst.
Oh God. Please go to my ISO. You do not need to watch what's going on over here. As Mary tries to crack Rob's ribs. Thanks you guys for watching the lobby today. Be sure to stay tuned to GameSpot for all sorts of Gamescom news this week, as well as an exciting event on Thursday morning from Blizzard and the new expansion to World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor. I'm your host, Chris Waters, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Adios.
Goodbye.
You're a crazy murderer. That was so weird.
You killed that man.
I don't care.